Did you hear it? He said it here.
I didn't say I was going to. I'd say I'd rather.
You heard it. You heard it from him. Okay, people. Welcome, you guys. It's so good to see all these names. I'm literally doing mute upon entry. Makes my life a lot easier. Okay. Also turned off that waiting room nonsense. Okay. Here we go. Jake is rocking the nails. Yes, Jen.
These were done by Kennedy for Mother's Day.
Beautiful.
So I have to keep them on until Sunday.
Oh, white nails. I wonder what Zach Sloman thinks when he's hanging it out. He's like, what is going on? No.
He has no idea.
On those coaching calls. Anyways, okay, welcome, you guys. We have 3 new consultants on the team. I want to shout out. First, I will shout out Laura Cunningham. I know she's under Ashley, who's on. Woo woo! So congrats to Ashley for creating a new consultant, helping her get paid. That is amazing. That's wonderful. So happy for that. And then also Trisha McMonigal. Woo! Trisha, yeah, she's she's out of northern Minnesota, but came in through the South Dakota crew. So that's cool. I think I saw she enrolled someone in Aiken, and I was like, that's fun. Yeah. Family in Aiken.
Family in Aiken.
Cool. Okay.
Scoop them all up for me.
Awesome. Okay. Woohoo. And the third one is someone who doesn't live in Minnesota. Her name is Misty Polina. Woo! Misty. She's under Jamie Peterman, who is in Arizona. So I need to learn if Misty's in Arizona or not. She's not in Minnesota. Okay. Cool. So huge congrats to you guys for helping them hit consultant. I did also want to announce 2 weeks to the Crystal Director deadline. So if you are running for Crystal Director, please tell us. Let us know. I helped someone map it out today that's going for it. I will just shout her out, Teresa Weston. We mapped it all out for her, all 6. It's 6 consultants. If you've hit exec before, they need to be 6 new. But if you've never hit director before, you can be, getting people back to direct or back to consultant as part of your 6. So that's awesome. Okay. So tonight we really want to talk through the last step of the leadersrisehere.com website, which is also the, hold on, sorry, I'm just trying to get this right, which is the 4-step process. Okay. So we've talked through the first 3 steps of the process, and this is going to start to feel a little bit like a broken record. But that's how this business is. You guys, as you master this, you will feel empowered with the fact that this is only, 10 steps in general, or 10 concepts, really. I'm just throwing a number out, but you know what I'm saying, 8 to 12 concepts, different things that we're learning in this business. The stuff is not all crazy rocket science that we have to learn. It's a basic set of principles and a basic set of things that fall under these 4 steps. And as we go through the business, if you're seeing things or gaps, please, please, please tell me, and we can make sure that we insert them. In our 6.5 years of this business, I haven't seen anything that wouldn't fall under these 4 steps. So they will feel like a broken record. We are all learning. The true difference is the mindset piece and the amount of action piece that each person takes, right? The X factor is the U factor. The X factor is, and for some people, I talked with someone today, it's really getting their mind right first before they want to take the steps, or, really digging on what is the why before taking action. I will tell you, you're never going to have it all figured out before you take action, but really taking these 4 steps and running with them is the way to go. So do you want to add anything?
I was just going to say, it really is like, I think of it like driving a car. So when you're starting this business, you are 15 years old trying to get your permit, and you're scared to death on the road, and you feel like you are going to crash every day. And now as a 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, however old you are, you get in the car and it's the same steps. You're doing the same thing, but you did them over and over repeatedly, and it just becomes very smooth and easy to do. So if you feel like you're not as smooth as you want to be, that's okay. You weren't the first time you stepped behind the wheel either. You probably had your parents or whoever was teaching you grabbing onto the armchairs or the side of the things and eating snacks to keep themselves quiet because they thought you were going to kill you. But just keep with the repetitive nature of this business and put your own flavor on it.
So good. Yeah. And the early beauty comes from yourself getting the enrollments, yourself hitting the rank advancements. The later beauty comes from watching your team do it and helping them do it. And it actually feels more, if any of you have ever rank advanced a team member, many of you have, probably every single person on here has, it actually feels better. It's more rewarding to help those people and to see their excitement and to share in their excitement. So, you know, really, you know, the best way to learn is to just do it and passion on fire and have that sort of, you know, ignorance and just go for it truly. Like, you cannot steer a ship. That's been something I've been talking a lot about if it's still in the port. You cannot steer a ship. I cannot, you know, if we're talking on a coaching call or something and there's no action taken, there's no coaching to be had because nothing is happening. But if you're taking action, we can be coaching, we can be steering the ship. You know, we can be talking through the responses that you're getting back. And there are definitely people right now that are in action that we're doing that with, that, you know, we are certainly available to do that with you guys. But it's really about taking those steps. So, you know, week 1, we talked about create curiosity. I feel like I want to look at the chat just in case. Cool. So much more rewarding. Yes, Barbie. Exactly. Week 2 or step 2. So create curiosity. You're pulling people in. They're interested. They're asking you about it. Step 2, you're inviting people. You're using the top-down approach. You're going and you're spear fishing. That's a concept that I may build out on the website even a little bit. Today I was on the Kelly Dickerhoof Power Hour that she does every Monday at 1 p.m. She had us go into Instagram and search our location and just scroll through recent posts of our location. And, you know, your location could be Minneapolis. You know, it doesn't have to be exact. It could be like the general metro area. Or if you want to build a team in, you know, Dallas, Texas, you could put in Dallas and just find those people to start making connections with, you know, and then commenting, liking. I know a few of you are on the call, screenshotting who they are. So you're kind of like building those relationships that eventually could create curiosity or invite people to take a look. Then we talked about plugging people in last week, and tonight we're going to talk about retention. And retention, you know, Barbie's on my screen. I think of her as working in marketing beforehand, and just the concept of gaining a customer. There are 2 things that are going to keep and grow our business. The first is gaining new customers, and the second is retaining happy customers. And along with that comes those customers wanting to open their mouth and refer business. I did this literally with a friend that has a small Etsy graphic design business this week. Simply people were looking for a little Mother's Day planter thing. And just a total sidebar note, I, you know, tagged her. She got all this business. She was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I was like, I would refer to you anyways. You know, she said, I feel like I should give you a referral. So like, I would refer that anyways, right? So it doesn't have to be weird. We, you know, I mean, we constantly are referring things. And so gaining the new customers, retaining the happy customers, there are kind of 5 things I want to talk through tonight. Between Jake and me, we'll talk through them of what this really looks like. And the beauty of our compensation plan, you guys, is that these new customers, retaining customers and new customers, don't just come as you're personally enrolled. And I really want that to sink in. I want you to get that. I want that to be something that when you lay in bed, you cannot sleep at night. Because it's not just who you know, it's who they know, and it's who they know, and it's who they know. And that's how we get the ball rolling, right? And that's how we have ended up with teams in all these different states where we knew no one, really, you know, and or cities where we knew no one. And you guys, those of you that have teams in other parts, I know it feels so amazing to be like, gosh, your decision created that ripple effect into that area of the country or world where you didn't know anyone, right? And so the healthiest and strongest organizations, those first 2 were bringing in the new customers, and now we're retaining them. And so we have 5 steps. The first is happy customers. So there's so many ways to keep them happy. You know, today on Kelly's Power Hour, she talked about taking 10% of our pay every week and pouring it back into our business. Invest 10% back in. So say you make $200 in a week, 208, maybe 4, or 216 would be 4 cycles. She said she literally would take 2160 and put that over in a fund that she'll pour back into her business. And you know, that fund could be, and she said she did it from the day she cycled 1 time until now. You know, that fund, you could use it that week. You could say, oh, 2160, I'm going to send out some Isodelites to new cleansers I have. Or I'm going to, you know, send out some samples of like the new products or the nitro sticks now that they come in stick form. Or, you know, however you want to do it, you know, for sure when we, sometimes we'll pool money together and save it for a big event like Celebration, when we will have like a big party or something, you know, because a big piece of it, we believe, is community and giving back in that way. Like, we love to give back. And I think that in general, that culture aspect, it just is such a beautiful aspect of this business, not in any way of getting, but in the way of giving and giving and giving and giving, and know that it will come back to you tenfold. It's a beautiful way to simply live and grow your business, truly.
And those happy customers are going to make up a vast majority of the people in your organization. Like, it's not just looking for the people who want to, you know, run this with you. It's saying thank you, because 80% of our customers are roughly just going to be on the products and love them, and keeping them, you know, finding them a place in your community will keep them there longer.
Yeah, totally. Invite and yes, no, 100%.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, he knows. I didn't mean to. Yes, that was good.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. I was sorry. My brain was just going to the next one. Yeah, whatever.
That's why
I knew everything he said was great.
I had to jump in and do it.
Okay, invite and engage in product challenges and campaigns. I know Barbie's typing something in the chat right now, but I am going to call out anyone that is within her organization, because I know that you guys, oh, that's funny. Oh, good Lord.
Oh, well.
You should have seen them today. Okay, so I know that specifically the Be Healthy community that Barbie and her group has going on, which, you know, I see Emily's name on here, Ashley, you know, you guys have, Rebecca, you guys have something that, you know, truly, I'm recognizing right now, because I know that you did a call for Meredith Franklin's team. Barbie, somehow I saw that it ended up to like Ben Kelly, right? Like, you could unmute is there more to the story? Do you want to share?
No, I've just touched base with quite a few people in the Dicker Hoop team that watched the video that I did for Meredith. And Meredith said, hey, just want to let you know that Ben Kelly just watched your video, and he just hopped on a leadership team with his crew, and they're planning a similar challenge based on the information that we've done in Be Healthy. So that is not because of me. That is seriously kudos to all of the leaders within our Be Healthy. Like, it takes time to build it over time, but there is an incredible community. And I think truly just plugging your happy product users in and getting them to cross collaborate and know each other across teams, like, beautiful friendships have really formed within our group, which is just awesome.
Yeah, major kudos to you guys. That is so cool. That is seriously so cool. So people are looking at things that you guys are doing. It's amazing, truly. So that, you know, product that could literally keep customers for life. It does keep customers for life across all of our teams. I know it. The third one, send snail mail and cards, like at the holidays, right? We dropped, people who, you know, we often do gifts for like business builders that we partner with, you know, that consultants we have. This year we did. Our customers, our personally enrolled customers that don't have anything to do with the business, we sent out $10 bills. I mean, just dollars in the mail. I was like, here you go. You know, just like, I mean, it's small, but I was like, I wish I could, you know, take you to coffee in person, but here, treat yourself. Like, just little things. And that's just one example. I know a lot of people on this team have done a million other things, you know, and just thank yous. I've seen Rebecca has a printed up Christmas thing that she's done, you know, so just making people feel so special and seen and heard. It's like that little X factor. It's that little extra that you can do, right? What's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary? The extra, the little extra. I always think of Naomi Williams with her hashtag extra. Offer free shipping or other product promos. You guys, you know, when I had 2 people on my team, I would do that. I would be like, hey, if you can get a couple people started this week, you know, you and they all get free shipping or whatever, you know, just little things like that go a long way, really. And the company will do it. The company does it way more than I ever saw back in our early build. It didn't happen like as often as it does now, but you know, with PayPal and Venmo, and you can be running that kind of stuff, you know, and I always believe it comes back tenfold. And same with inviting people to local and corporate events. And I know this one feels a little, yes, Becca, good. I love that. Way to go. Totally did that this week and had someone take advantage of it. So good. And that stuff will duplicate into your org too. Local and corporate events, Super Saturdays for sure. I love inviting happy product users to Super Saturdays. Customers, sometimes they just want to come and listen about the nutrition, or they maybe just want to kind of hear some of the stories in the Ice Body segment, and they hear the comp plan and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. You know, like, so getting them involved and being a part of the picture too, you know, like just the bigger picture of the team and like who we are as a community, which I'll kind of get into in the last one. But, you know, so happy customers, like what can you do to really give them, I know some people say, you know, Isagenix, it's like a Nordstrom style experience. How do we make sure that our customers are feeling that? Number 2 is getting products paid for. You want to talk about this one?
No, I mean, if you're looking at the screen, yes, I will. I mean, it really says it right there. Like when people get their products paid for, once they make a single dollar, once they get that IsaWallet card sent to them, their retention is increased by like 90% over a year. And the effect of that is massive. What we're talking about here, and people who are in the marketing world know this, like it is 10 times more expensive or inexpensive in time, you know, with us and in length of time and energy to find a new customer than it is to keep a customer happy. And just as simple as getting them one PIB or getting them a consultant bonus, like that's going to keep them around right there, and that's going to keep them in there so they're experiencing these things that we're talking about as far as being in the community, and they're going to be around things. They're going to be looking at things more because they have money in their hands. They can go to the bar. They can go on a date night.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a night out with some cocktails with some girlfriends or your husband or your girlfriend or whatever. Like that's a big deal for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. And I like to think about one cycle a week is 216 in a month. So that is more than an active order. They're literally going to have a little extra spending money plus their products paid for. So, you know, getting people to manage or getting them to share consistently with 5 to 10, you know, I usually say if you have 5 or 10 people consistently using this with you, you're going to have your products paid for. Like, let's start with the first 2, right? Start with 2, get those PIBs, double PIBs, consultant bonus, and then let's do a little bit more. Let's repeat, right? So getting that IsaWallet card in their hand is always one of my keys. And we've had a lot of people start this spring, thankfully, honestly. And I'm working with them on it. I'm working with them on, you know, finding those first few people. I'm working with them on, you know, getting them on the ISA Academy on Saturday this past week. You know, I had a new girl, just really getting them to see what is possible and making sure that, gosh, that IsaWallet will get in their hand. And I just trust that it will. And it's cash, right? Some companies, they're getting like product coupons or credits or different things, but like they get cash and it becomes residual, you know? So even if they're cycling just once every other week and they're making $100 a month, I mean, they're like, oh my gosh, $100 a month. Like for what, you know, like how great is that? So, you know, that kind of goes into this whole duplication concept. This is linking to a different video that's like bigger and broader about just the concept of duplication, but like everything we do duplicates. And I know this was a big topic and a big takeaway that you guys took from ISA Academy. I saw it in the comments I was reading, is that everything, the way that we bring people in, the way that we onboard them, the way that we plug them into the groups, the way we get them on an early welcome call or 3-way call, the ease at which we talk about the business, all of our actions are consciously or unconsciously teaching and training the person that if they can do it or if they can't do it. And the golden rule in network marketing is that person feels, oh, I can do that. Oh yeah, I see what she did. You know, I see Holly on my screen right now. Oh, Holly, I see she can, you know, she sent me a link to products. I can help someone do that. That's awesome. You know, that was so simple. She connected me with her friend. You know, she connected me with her friend who also had the same goals I did. Oh, I can do that. You know, and so keeping it very simple and keeping the process, and that's why we have this website, right? It's like, oh, well, this is how I do it. Here's the website. And, you know, the website can duplicate, especially steps 1 and 2. And when I'm talking to people early on right now, I've been pulling up the website and we only go over steps 1 and 2. They don't have to go into 3 and 4 until they have customers. It's like, here, focus here, 1 and 2. Once you start to have people say yes, then we're going to move on to 3 and 4 and we'll connect again. So having those, that high touch early on while they're duplicating, if that makes sense. Number 4 is recognition. I'm going to pause here. Yes, happy product users. For most companies, 20% of the customers are 80% of the sales. Yes. That's a great fact. Keeping those customers happy and showing them how to make $1. And that's true here too, And that is where, Barbie, you can share more if you have more to say on this. It's okay if not everyone gets it. It's okay if not everyone it's only going to be 20% that is going to be, it's okay if someone returns their box. It's okay if they shut off their auto ship. It's okay if they are like, no, I'm not interested. If they're really difficult to deal with, like they just aren't going to end up in that 20%, so.
Yeah. My one thing that I would share with that is like at Target, we always focused on our VIP customers. They were the ones that they were about 20% of the total shoppers at Target, but they had 80% of the sales. And it was easier to get them to build their basket than it was to get these, lower engaged guests to come more frequently or even to build their basket. So just keep that in mind when you have happy customers and we think like, oh, they're locked in, they're loaded, like they've been here for 6 years, or 5 years or whatever the time is. Even getting them introduced to different product lines or products that they maybe haven't had before. I mean, I have examples of this all the time. I have a girl that's in every single challenge and she showed up this time and her team didn't win, but I wanted to reward her for showing up. And I was like, hey, what's a product that you've wanted to try, but you've never had a chance to try yet? And she told me, and I literally sent one to her because it's easier for me to get her introduced to a new product line than it is to get, these other 80% of people to buy more, if that makes sense. So
yeah, that's a great example.
And that one simple action keeps her so locked into you and your team and your culture because you're showing that. I mean, there's examples of, I'm a big Gary Vee fan. He talks about, there was a guy commenting who bought like a case of cheap wine and he went on his Instagram feed and was talking, and this is a while ago, talking about Jay Cutler this, Jay Cutler that. He was a quarterback for the Chicago Bears and told his assistant to buy this guy a Jay Cutler jersey and send it to him as a thank you for this guy who bought like the cheapest wine they sold. He talked about it to his friend and he ended up making like $10,000 worth of sales on some other guy because he had the loyalty of this guy who saw what he was. This is a guy who was always like interacting with the company, getting cheap stuff, but it just shows like, it doesn't matter who the customer is. As long as you're keeping that customer happy and that person and they feel like that them, they're going to be there and they're going to be bringing things in left and right and you don't even know where it's coming from yet. So that was just a really quick, easy way for Barbie to keep that person happy. And who knows who she brings into the next challenge with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that example. I totally saw that example. And I was like, okay, Gary needs to learn about my love of Taylor Swift. What can he do? No. I think I did comment on that. It's so good. And just paying it forward and knowing it will come back. And it's a surprise how it does. You don't even know how it's going to be, right? Good. Thank you, Barbie. That's great. Okay, so number 4 is recognition. And recognition comes in so many forms. And here, if you know your love language, put it in the chat. I would love to see. So the first step is really knowing. And here's the thing. So many people go through life without getting recognized. Jobs these days can feel thankless. People are hustle and bustle. I know this isn't the current state with COVID. It may not quite feel like that, but people are going through the days. And a lot of times in their Isagenix business is where they feel the most recognized, or even just their Isagenix customer experience is where they feel the most recognized. And people do have, and I love using the 5 love languages to really say like, gosh, because if they're a words person, honestly, you guys, I'm a words person. A simple handwritten note that you mail to them, it just costs you like a stamp, means so much. Or a voice text or a Vox or a whatever it is that you're doing with that person. Those of you who have sent me those, I have saved them for real. You know, you trust me, you know, and Voxer doesn't save them, but I like play them and then I save them on, you know, Jake's voice audio and I get the little file. So, you know, it's just, and then some people it's gifts, right? And they just need something that is meaningful. Maybe it's a book, or maybe it's a cute little shirt that they would love, or it's a little hand mixer for their blender, you know, or it's, I mean, there's so many different things that we can do, or it's quality time, you know, and you spend that time with them. Maybe you come in a day early or leave a day late with them from an event, or at a sip and sample, you spend a little extra time with them, or you go out to coffee with them, or you take them shopping for a new outfit for the upcoming Super Saturday, or, you know, there's all these different ways, acts of service, right? Like helping them dig through their tree, or looking for different, you know, or helping them with their order. Like if, you know, I mean, you can really kind of figure out what their thing is based on the 5 love languages. There's other ways to do it too, but just, you know, it's about knowing the person and like what's going to really speak to them.
Well, and the nice thing about that too is that, you know, what you want to do is do something that's going to be meaningful for them. Just because you like giving gifts, if you're giving gifts to someone who doesn't really appreciate that gift, it's going to be less meaningful for them and for you in turn. Like, really put your time where it's going to be the most valuable. If somebody is a gifts person and you're just sending them nice voice texts and they're like, hey, like, how about you get me a Starbucks gift card or something like that? Like, that would be so much more meaningful to them than a handwritten card that they're going to throw away.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say all that with a caveat. If that's going to stall you out to not do it, then just trust your gut and don't overthink it, right?
Yeah.
So yes, and I love seeing you guys sharing your acts of service and words for Molly. Yeah, exactly. Words and quality time for Jen. Quality time and acts of service for Barbie. Acts of service and quality time for Ari. Yeah, it's so good to know yours, and that will help you in other parts of your, you know, with your marriage and life and whatever else you have going on, other friendships. And then, you know, leave them a voicemail or send a video note. Like, voice and video can convey so much more passion and authenticity than text. So really saying, hey, I just, you know, I love to look through like who just completed or who just started an IsaBody challenge, and just be like, oh my gosh, hey, I saw you just start, you know, I just have a new customer who just started it right away. I saw it come through my IsaPulse and I was like, hey, I'm so glad you signed up, blah, blah, blah. You know, like just really sharing why I'm excited about that for them. Recognize the actions you want more of. So if you want more people sharing their story and being brave on social media, recognize that when it happens. If you want more people hosting sip and samples, recognize that. If you want more people inviting people to events and you have one person that brings one person to an event, recognize the heck out of that.
Shout it from the rooftops.
You know, if you have someone on the team call here tonight for the first time, recognize that, you know, I mean, all of that, it just goes so far, and we can be so authentic and genuine in doing so. And then I have a segment in here, the bullet, about post on social media publicly or in the groups. The groups are a great place too to shout out transformations, IsaBody completions, so-and-so trying the new products, you know, whatever it is, getting their first box. Does anyone use the Isagenix Social Design Studio? If you want to comment. I personally have just loved Rana, Canva, and Unfold are the ones I use. Unfold for stories, the other two for the other stuff. They work great for me. I already have like templates in there, have like unlocked a bunch of stuff. So, but if you do, I mean, trust me, they're all great options for clean, professional, bright look.
With the posting on social media thing too, I just say make sure that they're comfortable with you posting, especially if you're doing like before and after pictures or telling a story, especially if it's going to be like public, like if you're going to put it on your page and they're going to be tagged, just make sure that they're okay with that, because some people are very private about that stuff and you don't want that to come back. That's my caveat.
Yeah.
That I'll have for that.
Yeah. Good. And yeah, make sure and encourage them to be brave.
Yes. Encourage them and gently nudge, kind of assume a yes, but make sure that they're okay with it.
Totally. Yes.
Always assume the best.
Yes. Good point. Barbie loves your point.
Oh, thanks, B.
And yeah, this link right here, Becca, it's like $9.95 a month, but it gives you all these, it's already like templates for rank advancements and IsaBody completions and all these different things. It's already like Isagenix branded. So
everything's, and then you just kind of put your
Yeah.
picture in that you want in that frame.
If you see the stuff Amanda does, they for sure they use that. So it's kind of that look and feel. And then community and events. So I mean, the community and the culture that we have, like, it's just the cherry on top. Like, it is. It's the thing that is going to keep people coming back and coming back. And how many of you are on this call, you just wish that we were together this summer at Celebration? Like, I'm like, what the heck? July is not going to feel the same. Not being in, I'm hopeful. If we can do this thing, I'm planning to have something here in the Twin Cities that anyone can come into. We
TBD.
will create that if we can do it, and we'll watch it all live together and do like a whiteout party at night and other fun things, so that will happen if we can do it, because I just know, and the reason that I would take the steps to do that is that community is everything, and in person, and people want to feel welcome. They want to feel invited. A lot of times it takes a personal invite, or they don't really realize that you thought of them. I have people on my list. I have a girl, I sent her a message. She was on my chicken list, and she got back to me and was like, oh my gosh, it feels so good to be thought of. I do think I'm interested in the business. Like, she wanted to be thought of. She didn't necessarily think she had this invite, but me actually thinking of her, she, so she wants to talk she needs a few months to do some other stuff, but hopefully she'll be joining us this fall. She's like, yeah, I am interested to talk more. So never assume that just because the people see your posts that they think that they are included or invited to the community. And never assume that just because you put out, or, we put Super Saturday in a group or Celebration, that everyone thinks that they're invited. Really go through those steps. So I hope that helps. That's really what retention is about. If there's anything you think I missed, please unmute and feel free to jump in. Or if you have questions, feel free to do the same.
And this is one of those steps that you just keep going on. It's just a circle. You're always doing all of the things continually with all your people, because as new people come into your community, whether you enroll them or your enrollment enrolled them, or your enrollments enrolled them, like, they're under your wing now. Like, they're a part of that. So include them in that. So don't feel like you just go through this with your people and then you check it off the list.
Yeah. Our businesses are living and breathing organisms. So they're always going to be living and breathing. So all 4 steps.
Yes.
We're always doing. Awesome. Cool, you guys. Well, I hope you have a good night. Anything? Otherwise, that is what we have.
For all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day on Sunday.
Happy Mother's Day.
We love you all. We love you all.
We do. Bye, guys.
Bye.